Well, hey girl, welcome to the channel. My name is Kim and this is Uncovering Self-Love. If you're new to the channel or if you're new or not, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel and also share it. So, girl, today I want to talk to you about what to do with the kids during Christmas vacation, and it is right here up on us. And I wanted to put this video out earlier. Would have been great if I could have put it out um like the end of November, definitely by December 1st would have been great. And but here we are, just running a little bit behind. But first I wanted to let you guys know that I thought this would be a good subject to talk to you about in case there's any women out there that are going to have like the grandkids, or you personally are going to be at home with your own kids and don't know what to do, or maybe you're a babysitter or a nanny and maybe new to watching kids, or maybe you're an aunt that has, you see the nieces and nephews, but you're not with kids like that a lot. So, what to do with the kids and maybe give you some new ideas. Some of these things that I'm going to talk about, you already know about and you have heard of before. But hopefully I can get your mind going and give you some new ideas. And so to help you be a little bit more creative and think of some different things to do. So, yeah, before I almost forgot, I wanted to talk to you about my experience with kids. So, for the first half of my life, I've worked with kids in many different types of fields. So, I started out, I used to work at a health club. So the person that you take your kids to when you're going to work out, that was me. So I did that for years. Then I went on to work at a Montessori school. I did the after school program. Excuse me, I need to clear my throat. And then I went on to become the extended care coordinator. After that, I went on to work in the class with the 2 and the 3 year olds. Which, you guys, the 2 and 5 year olds, they are my favorite. Which, I love all the kids, but 2 to 5, they're my peoples. That's my age group that I love working with. So I did that. At that same school, I was a gymnastics teacher. I was a music teacher. I babysat kids before, so a babysitter, a nanny to 2 families. Um, one was one family for almost 10 years and the other family for almost 12 years. What else did I do? A substitute teacher at that same school. I was a mentor to a high schooler. And I have my own child, in case you don't know. I have a daughter that is in her mid 30s, and I also have 3 grandkids. So I have lots of experience with kids. And one thing I want to tell you as a teacher that might help right off the bat is, which I know as a parent you probably will do, but have a schedule. And so the kids will kind of know, and it doesn't have to be like a concrete schedule, but at least even just for you, so you kind of know what you're going to be doing, like so they know when lunchtime is, when they might do a certain activity or something. And then you can have, of course, some days where they're just free days when they're just doing whatever. But have a schedule. Two, that's going to help with, the eating. I've been hearing I do DoorDash and Uber Eats. And I listen to talk radio, and I hear a lot about, and of course with the grandkids, and I have a younger nephew, that the kids are always wanting snacks. Like they eat all day. You know, when you at school, you are not eating all day. You have your snack and you have your lunch, and that is it. But when they're home, for whatever reason, they want to eat all day. And I've started, when the grandkids are over, just giving less snacks and make sure they eat more of their meal. I give them snacks, but not a lot. So for the most part, when they have their lunch or dinner, if they don't want to eat it all, that's fine. But if they happen to get hungry, especially at lunch, I just tell them, you don't have to eat it, but if you get hungry, go back to your plate and finish eating. So, there won't be a snack at that time because you can finish eating your lunch. They just really, a lot of them really don't eat a lot of the lunch and they're still hungry. So therefore, they want to eat the snacks all day and they just want to have the snacks anyway. Also would help if you stick with whatever the rules are. They know at school the rules are the rules. And there's no maybe, there's no changing of, the mind. There's no, I'll think about it later. Whatever the rules are at school, that is our, that, I can't talk. That is the rule, and we don't change it. And they know that. They may not obey the rule, but the rule is the rule. So just keep that in mind. That will help out a lot. Now that's going to take some time and work also, training them, getting them used to that. Like, you're not going to change or, flip flop, especially if you've done that with them in the past. Like you ask them, like they may ask, can they have something? Repeatedly ask if they could have something. And they know after a while, if you normally may give in to that, then it's going to take your child a while to know that, okay, she has changed and she's not doing that anymore. So it's just going to take practice for you and them. So I have a whole list of things to talk to you guys about and different ideas that I hope are really helpful to you, maybe your parents, and like I said, whoever may need this. So one thing you can do during your break is go to Pinterest. Pinterest has a lot of different ideas for you to do. So they have coloring sheets, they have activity sheets, they have, what else did I put? Coloring sheets. Oh, they have a lot of different arts and crafts things you can do out of construction paper. That's one thing that my nephew and I used to do a lot. I used to watch my nephew every other weekend, and he loves arts and crafts. So we would look on Pinterest and find something that he wanted to make and make it out of construction paper. And he didn't even care, say we're making an animal and we don't have the right colors for the animal, like the construction paper, the right colors not in the construction paper. Because if you bought some construction paper from the Dollar Tree, then you already know what I'm talking about. My sister bought me some construction paper because my nephew likes to do arts and crafts, right? Well, little did I know that they don't have all the colors in their packet. So luckily for him, he didn't get upset about that. He was okay with having a bear that was brown, for instance. Not brown. Maybe we made a bear, but he made it out of red construction paper is what I'm trying to say. So just make sure, a lot of things and activities, or some you can get from the Dollar Tree, but construction paper, you might want to get that somewhere else to make sure you have all the colors. Like I said, they have some, but not all of them. So Pinterest for coloring sheets, activity sheets, educational things you can print off. and also different types of arts and crafts for each season we're in. So for Christmas, I'm sure you can find some different things to make with the kids. Um, what else was I gonna say? The Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree has different little crafts that you can buy from there to do with the kids. They have, I think I've seen like beads and stuff now. They have coloring books. That's a good place to get stickers. Now for Christmas, you can get, they have different types of Christmas activities. Like last year, this year I really didn't look, but last year they had a giant, it was huge, a giant gingerbread man, and you could just glue on the different pieces like the eyes and maybe buttons or something. So go to the Dollar Tree and see what kind of fun things that they have that the kids can do. Now, I did find one thing that I got from the Dollar Tree. I got this years ago when I used to be a nanny, and I haven't been a nanny in about, I think it's coming up on 5 years. In 2026, it might be about 5 years. So even before then, I had this for a while. I think we made one. I think we used some of these, but not this one for whatever reason. And my nephew, who likes to do arts and crafts, I've been asking him if he wants to do this, and he doesn't. So it's a birdhouse, and it comes with everything you need. It has I'll turn it on the back so you can see that too. So this is what I mean when I say they have different little activities that the kids can do. So things like that. Also, board games. You can play, and these are things that you already know, board games. The family that I used to work for, they were really good about buying the kids. And they played games, of course, as a family, but they had a lot of different types of games I never seen or even heard of. Like they have a whole closet full of games. And so, that's good to have a variety. And that may not be in your budget. And if it's not, one place to go is, where's that, Five Below? Now they have some games for $5. Um, the quality, of course, of it is not the best, but it's a game that you can play. Or maybe you can buy, I don't know, once a year or how often, whenever you can, a game so the kids have something different to do. Also, one game that I play with the kids, even if they're a little bit younger, I will play some games with them, but just change how we play. I don't use the rules that come with the game. I just make up my own rules, like Uno. So Uno is something easy for kids to play. And I don't know at what age they can start playing that. But even when the grandkids or my nephew was even younger, we played that because it's just about colors and numbers, right? So that's easy. I think I might have took out the extra card because now, yeah, Uno. I think they have even a new Uno game that might have just came out this year, and I forgot what that's called. But it just basic Uno, and just take out the. I was gonna say take out the skip or the so I take out the cards where you might have to choose 2 cards or 4 cards. I take those out, and we might start off with 3 cards because with the little hands, it's always hard for them, one, to hold them and to keep track. But normally when we play any card game, they just lay the cards flat on the table anyway, so they can see what they have easily, and so I can see and help them. But they do have I don't know what it's called. I think it looks like a hand, and it holds the cards for them. I don't know what it's called or where you can find it at, probably anywhere, but that's something you could Google if you're interested, or you can just have them put their cards on the table. War, that's a fun and easy game that will go on forever. Monopoly, that's a game that's gonna, um, you know, you can play for a long time, especially if you're playing. I was gonna say with more people. It doesn't matter how many people you're playing with Monopoly. It's just gonna take forever. And if you don't know, they also have, I think it's called Junior Monopoly. I have that game, and that's good for the younger ones because they have dollar bills, so that's easier. Help them with learning to count, and you don't have to worry about the five, tens, the larger dollar amounts. So board games, that's something fun they can do all day or on and off part of the day. I would say to be sure to take some time and still get outside, unless it's bitterly cold and the news they advise you not to go outside. Get outside for a little bit. Not saying that you have to stay outside, all day or 20 minutes, especially when it's really cold. But it's good to get outside to burn off a little energy. Um, yeah, that's one thing with the at the school too. We used to go outside even when it was cold. Like I said, we may not stay outside for a long time, but we would get the kids out some. It may just be 10 minutes. We're out there and then we're back in. So get the kids outside, go for a little walk, play catch, play a game of horse. If you have a basketball goal, just something quick. And you can do that off and on. You can go outside for 10 minutes, like I said, depending on how cold it is. And then 3 hours later, go back outside again for another 10 minutes. You can, let's see, what else? And then, of course, if it's snowing, you can play and have a snowball fight. Baking. All kids like to bake. Every time my grandkids come over, they want to bake some cookies. And that's one thing I did too as a nanny. We always bake cookies. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you I stopped doing was I used to fix just a regular, large batch of cookies. What does it make? Like, I don't know, 24 cookies or something. Then I started cutting the batch in half, and that was still too many cookies. Or I would take half of it and put it in the freezer. I feel like that didn't work either. I mean, it worked, but I feel like we never used the other half of the cookie dough. I don't even know whatever happened to the rest of the cookie dough. But one thing I love about Pinterest is they have small batches of cookies. So that will make like, I don't know, 10 or something. Now and you can just look on Pinterest and find any type of cookie, chocolate chip cookie, sugar cookie, butter cookie, whatever cookie it is that you want to make. Because the kids just want something fun to do. It's a bonding experience with you, and they want something sweet to eat. So I have a recipe, not a recipe. I have a recipe that I got off of Pinterest that me and the grandkids have been using for a while. If you don't know it, I'm mostly vegan. I eat vegan most of the time, and these cookies are vegan. I know they don't have, the grandkids aren't vegan, but I know I'm going to want some of the cookies. So I had to find a vegan recipe. And it's just three ingredients. It's butter, so vegan butter, sugar, and flour. That's it. And they are small, like heart-shaped cookies. I make heart-shaped cookies because that's what they made. That's how they look on the recipe. You don't have to. And it makes about, how many cookies? 8 to I don't know, maybe 12. It might be just 10. I don't know. But keep in mind they're little. So if it was regular size cookie, it might be 3. So this works out for us because it's a fun experience with baking. They get, a sweet treat, but a whole lot of junk. I just don't want to give them a whole lot of junk. That's one thing they know when they come over here. And you know what? Just saying that, I finally realized my nephew, not nephew, my grandson doesn't go down the list of things with me anymore, because he'll be like, do you have some candy? No. Ice cream? No. Cookies? No. I don't have any of that. Of course, when they come over, I try to make sure, because I really don't keep things here for them. Like when I was watching my nephew, I did, because I had him every other week. So they brought him his snacks. But as far as the grandkids, I don't just keep treats here for them. I will go buy them when I know they're coming over. So one thing they always ask for when they come over is a smoothie, because they know that's what I make, and that's what they love, a good smoothie. So it doesn't always have to be a cookie, something unhealthy. Let's see, baking, and also the baking, that can be a fun activity for you guys, but it can also be a Christmas gift, since it's Christmas time. Have your kids bake some cookies and give them out to the grandparents. They would love that, or aunt and uncle, or whomever. So it could be for both. And that's one thing I used to do too with did I do that with maybe I didn't. Maybe that was something I did on my own, not with, I was thinking maybe with my daughter. I didn't do that. I mean, I made cookies with her, but not as make them to give out as gifts. I made cookies on my own to give out as a gift. I don't think she helped with that. So that's something you can do. And look also for Christmas activities around your city. What do they have, that's fun for you guys to do? Both that you can pay for and that is free. I know here, where I live, I was about to say in Crown Center, which I am going to talk about Crown Center. But if you don't know, I live in Kansas City, and Crown Center was one of the places I took the kids to that I used to nanny, because outside, now Crown Center is a shopping area, but outside across from Crown Center, they would have different things set up for the kids to play with during the Christmas time. And then we would go in, and they have, so if you live here, they always have a free activity in this room. So it's on the lower level. When you walk in the door, you go to your left all the way down at the end of the hall. And around Christmas time, Santa Claus is there, and you can take pictures with him. If you take the picture yourself, it's free. So we always did that. And also at Crown Center, they have this restaurant called Fritz, and the kids love that. So with Fritz, there's a train that runs above the ceiling, small train, and it runs around. It's on a train track, and it runs on top of the ceiling around the whole restaurant. And when you get there, you sit down. They have a phone, so you use the phone to place your order. And then when the order comes, the train delivers your order. And they also have little hats, free hats and things for the kids. And that's fun. The kids love that. But if you live here and you want to do that, you have to make sure you go. Don't go during the busy times, which during the Christmas time is going to be kind of hard because kids are out of school. But one thing I lucked up on being a nanny, my kids that I used to watch, they stopped taking naps at an early age. So I took advantage of um, the hours that would typically be nap time for most kids. So when we went to museums or restaurants or did different things, most of the kids were home because, it was nap time for them. So by the time we went, it was pretty quiet. So that's something fun to do. So yeah, fine. If you have in your city a fun restaurant that your kids like to go do that. Um, Let me see. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? So yeah, something else I was gonna say about Crown Center, depending on your budget, Crown Center, you can make that all day because they have the ice rink there. They have the other outdoor area there. You can go in and out. Say you go ice skating in the morning, then you go inside to play at the free event area they have. Then back outside to the play area they have across the street. But you know what? The skating ring and the play area, if you ever been, it's side by side. But I don't know. I'm assuming they are still doing that because last year they had something in the evenings. I don't know what it was called. I don't know if it's called like the Christmas festival or what. And I don't know if they do that during the daytime. I wonder if they do. I'm not sure. Some things might have changed because it's been a while since I've been down there during Christmas time. Well, during the day. Like I said, last year I went at night to the Christmas festival. Like I said, I don't know what it's called, but it's across the street from Crown Center by the ice skating rink, and they have different stores are out there, and they're selling food, and they have singers out there. So it was nice. It was fun. Nice experience. It was cold, which is to be expected living here, but it was nice. Um, yeah, restaurants. Of course, you can go see what restaurant. I don't know if people are doing this anymore either, because I used to do a lot of these things as a nanny. But I was gonna say, I used to take the kids to like a pizza restaurant, and they could make their own pizza there. If there's not a restaurant that does that, I know Papa Murphy does. They have a pizza kit that you can buy. It's a personal size pizza, and they just give you the cheese and the toppings, and it comes in a box, and you can take it home, and the kids can fix their pizza, and you can bake it yourself. Or you can just buy all the ingredients and bake the pizza yourself. That's simple enough too. You can also, go to, is there a candy store in your area that you can take the kids to and make candy or watch them make candy? I did that one, and that was at Crown Center too, I think it was. That was such a long time ago. So that's something you can do. You can take the kids to take a tour of a fire station. Now you have to call and set that up or see if they already have something like that going on. I know they do it a lot for like in the summertime. I don't know if that's something they do in the winter or Christmas season, but just something to look into. Or, these things, they don't have to just be done during Christmas time. They can be done any year. I mean, any time of the year, you know what I'm saying. So, also, I was talking about making cookies. You can also, if you make fudge, I've never made fudge, but that would be fun to do. Go to different libraries and see. what they have going on. They always have something fun that they're doing. And don't just go to the branch in your area. One thing I did as a nanny, I would look at all the different library locations. I think we have 3 to 4 different library branches, um, and see which what they're doing. I would go to different libraries in different areas depending on what they're doing. One might have an animal show. One might, well, I'm saying an animal show, but they bring in birds and snakes and things. Um, yeah, we went to one library and they had an owl, and the owl, he flew from one end to the other, and I could feel I could feel the wind. I was like, "Ugh." That was making me nervous. You could do that. Also, if you live in Kansas City, you might not know this or think about it. Lakeside Nature Center, it's by the zoo. That is free. So they have animals there that you can see. They have a walking trail. If you like walking trails, I don't like a walking trail. I think they're nice, but I don't like to be off, I don't know, in the woods and stuff, or in the trees. I know it's really nice on a hot day because you're kind of shaded, but I've never liked to walk a trail. I just don't feel comfortable, or I guess safe, walking on them. But yeah, they have a walking trail. They have a play area. They have books. They have coloring sheets for the kids. So that's something you could do for a little bit. You can also, of course, we know, go to McDonald's or Burger King or a kid place where you can have, I'm saying a kid place, where you can have lunch and they can play in the play area for free. I know a lot of places here closed down a lot of the little play areas in the restaurants. I don't know if they did that the same thing where you live in your city, but that's something fun to do. That's something I used to do as a nanny, especially with the first family I worked with. We did that a lot. Now the place they used to like to go to was Burger King. So we would go to a nearby Burger King, I don't know, maybe once a week, and have our lunch, of course, and just let them play in the play area for hours. They can play by themselves, or of course, their kids, they will make friends. Have a movie day in or outside the house. There's so many great Christmas movies, of course. My kids, they didn't like the movie. I mean, when I say my kids, the kids I nannied for, we went to the movie some. One liked it, and maybe the other one didn't. So each family, I had 2 kids. So we didn't do that a whole lot. But one thing that we did do is what you can do is think of different things to do to make this a fun experience that only you and your kids do, or the grandkids, or whomever the child is that you're watching. Um, that's what I did as a nanny. It just so happened that we would certain things that we did, it was just something that me and the kids did and no one else did. So that became our thing with each kid that I watched. So with each family. So the first family, our thing that we did, I know you can't do it. I was going to say, no, you can't do it in the winter month, but it depends on where you live. If you're in a warm climate, you can do this. So with the first family, every year I would take them to Worlds of Fun, which is a local amusement park here in Kansas City, and we would go from open to close. So we did that every year. And I did it because that was something that my father used to do with us. So he would take all the cousins and they would stay all day at at Worlds of Fun. So that's something fun. And that's a great memory that they'll remember. That's something we did all the time. With the second family, there's a local pizza shop that we were the only ones that went to get pizza from there, and that was Pizza Shop. That's the name of it. I don't know if they have it in the city that you live in, but I love that pizza, or I used to. I don't eat it anymore. Um, and a lot of people don't like them because they don't like the cracker crust. You know, some people, it depends on the crust. I'm not that person. I will eat any crust. I don't care. It can be thick crust, thin crust, cracker crust, cheese crust, no crust. I'm gonna eat it. I don't care. You know, some people, I don't eat the crust. I don't like the crust, or I only like it if it's, whatever. I don't care what kind of pizza it is, long as, if it tastes good to me. So that's something we did. We would, so I'll share a few things that we did that was fun, that they loved doing, that only me and them did. So one of them was, like I said, we would go to Pizza Shop and get a pizza, build a fort in their basement, turn off all the lights, and watch a movie on the iPad while eating our pizza in the fort. That is, that's fun. That's something unique they might like. We would have a snowball fight. So their grandparents bought them some, they're called snowballs, and I think I've seen them on Amazon. But they were balls and they were soft, and to have an indoor snowball fight. So that was fun. I used to do a lot of overnights with them, so we would always have a pillow fight. They like doing that any chance they get to to hit you. So yeah, that was something fun. We did a lot. And one thing we did was one summer I did, how at school they have Spirit Week. So I did that one summer with them. We had pajama day, talent show. I don't think that's in part of Spirit Week, but a talent show. And it was just the three of us, but it was still fun. I don't know what else we did for the week, but I remember those things. We wore pajamas all day, and it was fun. So that's something you could do. You could have and I was gonna say, you can wear pajamas all day, and I know you're thinking, girl, my kids wear pajamas all day anyway. But just make it fun. You also, everybody wear their pajamas, and you can have, movie day where you're watching movies and you're popping a popcorn and you have your pizza, you're making cookies, and you're playing your electronic games, you're playing your board games. So that can be fun. Another thing we did was we had something called Carnival Day. Now being a nanny, I would just make things up off the top of my head, and it just happened to go over well. My friend always tell me, she was like, she was like, they wouldn't want me to be their nanny because I can't do all that. I couldn't think of all that. I'm like, you would think of something that, I was going to say that you like to do, but these ideas just come to me and I go with it. So, yeah, so Carnival Day. And what we did for Carnival Day was, first we just worked on a menu. Like, we decided to fix things. What do they have at the carnival when you go? So we had hot dogs, we made a funnel cake, and we made, I would keep wanting to say lemonade, but they had an icing machine with they had an ice machine with a lot of different flavors. So we made ices. But yeah, you can make lemonade. You can have potato chips. You can have cookies. You can have pop. You can have Kool-Aid. Whatever you have that could be a fun, Some you buy at the carnival, nachos. But we just happen to have, like I said, popcorn, hot dog, and icy. So we did that. We used Monopoly money to spend. We set up different games to play. So we had some glass bottles, and I think we had to throw the coin into the bottle. We played, what else did we do? I can't even remember, but different, just think of different games they play at the carnival that you could make at home. Just like I was saying, throwing a coin in the bottle, or throwing a toss a loop, a hoop, if you got a small one or something, over a bottle. Or it could be maybe just have a bowling pin, just, think out the box. So we did that, and we got all of their stuffed animals. We got stuffed animals, balls, and different toys. So we set up the games. We made the food. Each person worked at a station, we took turns, whether they were working behind a game or at the food station. And so we set up a dollar amount for the game and for the food. And when we played the game, you win a prize. So that would be the stuffed animal, or a ball, or whatever the toy was. So that was a lot of fun. They enjoyed that. I enjoyed it too. I also we used to play, oh, I can't think of it. What is that called when you, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, obstacle courses. We used to do that. And a lot of times they had two levels. So the basement, and then we go upstairs. So we might have a game where and you just put anything together to make a, obstacle course, or do something fun. The one thing is they're burning off energy, they're having fun, they're spending time with you, and they're bonding. Because, it's all about, they want to beat you, right? So you can take a broom and put it on two chairs and crawl under it, or jump over it. Take something that you have to hop over, whether it could be tape if that's all you have. So say you have two chairs with the broom on it, and you crawl under that, and then you put out several strips of tape, and you jump over that, and you run upstairs, and you run back downstairs. I know you think, girl, that's too much. That's too much. Ain't nobody trying to run up no stairs. And it's good exercise for you. You're going to get your exercise in today or that day. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to run up and down stairs. You don't have to jump as much as a kid would be. If that's something you physically can't do, just step over it. Just be engaged and do it with the kids. It still would be fun. I remember it was years ago, they had the Olympics. Like we're about to have, the Olympics coming to United States next year. And we made up our own Olympic games and played. I just went to go visit the kids, not just, but several months ago. And I was asking them if they remember that. And once I reminded them what we did, they did remember it. But we would sit at the top of the stairs. So at the bottom of the stairs, we would have several different containers or buckets, different size openings. And we would get a jack ball, a ball that you play jacks with, small rubber ball. And we would go not all the way up to the top of the stairs, the middle of the stairs. And I'm looking down, like I'm looking at stairs, and like y'all can see the stairs. We would sit in the middle of the stairs and just let the ball roll down and see if it would fall into one of the containers. And I don't know, did we give it points for that? I can't remember. So that is something fun we did. We would go to the tennis court and hit the ball. Go take a walk, of course. I don't know if I already said that during some outside time. I did say that earlier. But like I said, if it's cold where you are right now, it doesn't have to be long. It might be a quick 2-minute jog, but you know, they need to get outside for a little bit. They need some air. So yeah, that's something else you can do. You can have a day, I might have said this already also, where you have a mix of games you're playing. So you're playing your board games, you're playing your electronic games, you playing a game of horse. Excuse me, horse. I know I did mention something about horse already. Let's see. Oh, one thing you can do, since this is a perfect time. So since it is the Christmas season, Santa Claus is about to come soon. I know they've already made their list and they wrote it a long time ago. They know everything that they want, right? This is a good time to have your kids declutter. There should not be as much of a fuss or argument because they know there are new toys coming in. Right now is a good time, and whenever their birthday is, have them declutter because they know will have some new toys soon. So have them. Maybe it could be however many items they put on that list. That's how many items they got to go. Or half of that. But have them declutter. And there's, like I said, it should not be as much of an argument because they are, just explain to them they're about to get new toys. I didn't mention arcade game, Chuck E. Cheese. That's a good place to go. Of course, you can have lunch and they can play games there. You could do play dates. So, and you can do, there's play dates with different people. So it could be a play date with their friends, a play date with your friends, a play date with the cousins. So at different times, maybe one day a week. So maybe your week may look like, one day we're at home. We're just staying home in the house all day. Then the next day we're getting out. We're doing something fun and free. The next day we're home. We're having a play date. Or the next 2 days you're home, and then get out again and go to a movie or something. Also, if you live here, which you probably already knew if you live in Kansas City, or maybe you're just visiting, or maybe you forgot, sometimes we know things and just haven't thought about it or forgot, about it. But the trolley, they extended it since they wanted to have, the Olympics is coming here. So that's something you can do. That's free. And ride around, especially if you have guests coming here from out of town. Let's see, what else? Build a fort in the basement. I already talked about that. And another thing you can do is go see different, the lights. So they may be staying up. I was going to say later. I guess it won't be too late because it gets dark early. I was going to say if they stay up later, they get sleep in later. But it just depends on what you want your schedule to be. Something else I did with the kids and started doing with the grandkids is, you ready for this? Spa day. Yes, I said a spa day. So it started out when I was a nanny, and like I said, I watched 2 kids, a boy and a girl. So the boy that I used to watch, he would be at school and I would have Sam and May. I'll just say Sam and May, or their names. And so May and I would have, it wouldn't be a spa day, but I would paint her nails. And then I thought, yeah, I think I did kind of turn into like a spa, soak her feet. But then there was a day where I had both of the kids, and I thought, you know, with this, I didn't know if this would be something Sam would like. But all the kids, I'm telling you, all the kids will enjoy this. So, girl, I'm going to tell you. So listen up. Listen closely. This is something you can do, but listen to what I am telling you. I'm going to tell you what the key is to spa day. So if you don't listen and it doesn't turn out well, it's because you didn't do what I told you to do. Okay? So this could be on a day where you decide to stay home, or you're home and you don't know, what else to do. Normally the first thing I do is have the kids go into a different room so I can set up. So and nothing fancy. All you have to do is buy from the Dollar Tree, they have those tubs. I think they're whites and they're square and they're about that high. I don't have one, but I didn't buy them for the grandkids, but when I was a nanny, I bought them for them so they would each have a separate tub to soak their feet in. So I did that. So I would set up a chair, put the tub at the bottom so they could soak their feet. I would set up snacks, so special treats, like not special, but some gummy bear or goldfish or some little Hershey Kisses, whatever whatever it is you may have. I would ask them if they want, like, would you like pop or water or juice? And I will put that in a fancy glass, because you want it to be something kind of unique and they feel a little special. I also set beside them some books, or I don't think anything to color, but just books or kids magazines. So if you don't have that at home, or if you're visiting and don't have that, which I'm sure a lot of kids have books, but if not, go to the library, get some kids books and get some magazines if they have it. A variety, something different for them to look at. I would turn on soft spa music. And yeah. And so the key is, are you listening? The key to spa day is to speak, excuse me, to use a soft indoor voice like you're actually at the spa. That has worked no matter how many kids I've had, no matter their energy level. It just brings the tone way down, which, I know this, they kind of match your tone or energy. Now, when I used to work at a Montessori school, about about every 2 years, I would lose my voice and I could only talk at just a whisper. And I used to think, oh my goodness, like these kids are going to run over me today. That classroom was so quiet because, one, they had to be extra quiet to hear what I was saying. And thankfully, they wanted to be. So when I lost my voice, it was like real low. Like, can you please? I don't even know if you can hear me now. But can you please sit down? And so they would talk just as softly as I was talking to them. That's how they responded to me. So And because the kids, they're always excited about spa day, even before they knew really what it was, both the grandkids and the kids I nanny for. So they would stay in the room. I would bring them out, and I'd always change my name. Now, Sam, he was a kid, he don't like to pretend. So he didn't like that part. He would be like, I don't want to call you. I always said my name was Lisa or something. I don't want to call you that. Like, you don't have to. I'm like, if you pay attention to May, she has never addressed me by that. She just asked me what she wanted, what she did and didn't want. But like I said, everything will be turned off. No, oh, when you set up their little area, you give them their juice, pop, whatever they want, because you ask them what it is they would like to have for yeah, there's two parts. But when I did it as a nanny, I just gave them a choice of juice, and the other candy, I set out. Like I said, it could be graham crackers, goldfish, chocolate kisses, whatever it may be. But when you set out things for them to look at, the whole thing, this is a spa, this is quiet, and this is relaxing. So there are no electronics. There's no TV on, no iPad, no phone. They look at a book. So I have the spa music on, and I would say, hi, my name is Lisa. Welcome to spa, whatever it may be. Have a seat. I would give them a choice of whatever I was letting them soak their feet in. I don't know if it was Epsom salt or whatever, but I give them a choice of that, and they would decide, and I would put that in. And I think that was it. I feel like that now with that also, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be doing a lot of work, but it still was peaceful. It still felt peaceful and relaxing, even though I was doing a lot of work. I just did it last month, like the week of Thanksgiving. I had the grandkids and I had my nephew for a day or 2 days. And we had spa day. And what I did was I kind of upped it a little bit. So I had them go in the room like I normally do before I set up everything. So I could set up everything. And then I called them all out. I had them sit on the couch. I had the spa music on. And I had several things written out that we were going to do, but I asked them if they wanted to do it. So first they sat down, and I forgot what my name was. I feel like it was something that started with a K. And I went to each child and I was like, hello, my name is Kenya. Thank you for coming to our spa today. I'm so glad to have you. Hello, my name is Kenya. Thank you for coming to our spa today. I'm so glad to have you. So they're all sitting in a row. And I shook each child's hand and introduced myself and welcomed them to the spa. And they're just like, girl, you would think they had a 5-star spa, honey, because they love it. So I had them sit down. Then I sat across from them. I told them I had several things planned for them, and I asked them each individually what they wanted to do. But remind you, you're talking in a nice, soft voice, inside voice, and they will sit there and be very quiet too. During that time, I realized the kids, they're not arguing, they're not fighting. I don't know what it is about that, but they really enjoy it. So I told them, I asked them, like, would you like some pizza this evening for dinner? And they're like, yes. And cheese pizza. I didn't give them a choice because I had no other options. That was for dinner. So I asked them would they like that. They, each child said yes. Would you like popcorn this evening with, no, I asked, would you like to be a part of movie night? Yes. Would you like some popcorn with that? Yes. Would you like a shower experience or a bath? No. Would you like to take a shower or would you like our bath experience? And each of them chose a bath experience because they are ages 5 to 9. And now they don't take baths anymore. They take a shower because, that's just faster and easier. So anytime they can take a bath and just soak and play in the tub, they like to do that. So they chose that. I asked them, would you like to be a part of baking cookies? Yes, they wanted to do that. So what I did was I had several stations set up, areas. All this was in the living room except for, they baked cookies in the kitchen, of course, and in the bathroom, a bath. I had a spot for them to soak their foot. And since the girls could have a mani-pedi, I let the boys choose. I offered them the super soaker. So the super soaker was they get to soak their feet longer. And they were happy and fine with that. One of them. One of them was, anyway. And so I had at the table, I had set up paper and pencils and crayons. So they could write or draw something they were thankful about since Thanksgiving was coming up. So you could do that. So at one time you may be soaking your feet. Then you may be at the arts and craft table writing what you're thankful for. Or you might be helping bake the cookies. Each of them did a little part in the baking cookies. In the bath experience, I lit a candle and I had some bath salts, bath bomb, and bubble bath. So once we got in there, I said, would you like a bath bomb, bath salt, or bubble bath? And they all chose a bath bomb. So they all had a bath bomb. Of course, this was, different times. We were rotating around. I folded up their pajamas nice and neat so they could go and put their pajamas on in a different room. I also have a one bedroom that I call the playroom. And if they seem to get a little bored, I let them go in there. That's called the game room. If I see them getting a little antsy, I'm like, oh, would you like to go to our game room? They're like, yeah. And then another grandchild was like, she comes over. She's like, where's your game room? I'm like, oh, let me show you. So they really get into it. And so since they're younger, you can give them a massage, but I don't give them a massage. But I also ask them what they wanted. I forgot what I called. Oh, I called it a did I say moisturized experience? I can't remember. But if they like to be moisturized and just put lotion on. And I gave them a pretend facial. So after they were done, so they made the cookies before they got in the bath. And they soaked their feet before they got in the bath. So after they get out of the bath, I wrap a towel around them. I have them I covered my couch, but I have them lay on the couch, with the towel covering them. And I gave them different lotions to choose. And so they choose which lotion they want. And I just lotion their arms, their legs and feet, and their neck. Not the middle part from here to above the knee. I didn't lotion that. And then I let them go. Oh, and then I use a light, light facial soap. It wasn't even, it's more water than soap. And I put it on a towel and I rub that on their face. And then I go rinse it off and I wipe their face again. And then I lay a warm towel over their face for a little bit, and then I come back and put some lotion on their face and let them get dressed. And then by the time all of them were done with that, I put the pizza in the oven and had some popcorn, and we watched a movie. And they loved that. And that was at least 2 hours. Now, like I said, that's a lot of work. You're going to be doing a lot of work running around. They're going to ask for, oh, can I have, my water is cold, you know, when they're soaking their feet. Now, I have, like I said, I didn't get the container from the Dollar Tree, but I already have like a foot spa. So I just let the kids use that. So yeah, they'll really get into it. Oh, can I have some more water? Not water, because you know they don't want the water. They're gonna want the pop, the juice, whatever the drink is. And give them a glass. If you have a glass that you're okay with, if it gets broken, you know, they always feel a little fancy. They have a glass. And oh, what else was it? Oh, I asked them later too if they wanted, would they like a smoothie or lemonade? You know, that was another part of their dinner package for the movie night. So that was a lot of fun. But like I said, it'll be a lot of running. But you know how many kids? If you got one child, it's really gonna be fun. 1 to 2, but like I said, I had 4. But it was a lot of work, but it was fun. But I'm saying fun, but it was also, it was peaceful because it was so quiet. Oh, and another thing we did, I asked them if they wanted to be a part, or I added this on, if they wanted to do yoga and meditate. They're like, yes. So, and that's something too I forgot to talk to you about. So on YouTube, you can do look up yoga for kids or exercising for kids. So do that, you know, and you can choose the time. They got 10 minutes, 30 minutes, however long. Or even if it's something that they like and it's not short, just depending on if they want to do the whole video or not. You can do half of it and do it with them. They're going to be more, well, they might do it anyway, but if they'll be really excited to see that you're doing it with them. And so they were in front by the TV. I was kind of behind them, and I was doing yoga too. They're like, you're doing it too? I'm like, yes, I'm doing. At that point, that was a part of the spa experience. I'm like, yes. Yes, I am. So yeah, yoga, meditate. I love them. That's one thing I used to do with my nephew when I used to watch him also. And this was I think it was only like a 5-day, girl, 5-minute meditation. So start there. And one is just getting them used to, they're so used to, you know, there's always something going. They always listening to, you know, the iPad or arguing or talk. Everybody, even you, need a moment of just quiet. And even though you hear, because they talk you through, especially, you know, the kids or grown-ups too, the meditation. Like I said, these are meditations for kids. So just look that up on YouTube, Google it or whatever. But I did this all through YouTube. Have them sit and have them get in a spot to where they're comfortable. They're not touching anyone else. You know, they can sit up, lay down. Sometimes they might open their eyes, keep their eyes open. Whatever they want to do, long as they're in a space by themselves and quiet. So if you want to sit there with your eyes open, sit there with your eyes open. Just get them in the habit of having, you know, it being quiet. Also, what you can do is there are lots of different podcasts for kids. And there is one Oh, I can't think of the name of it. I always just pull it up. No, I was going to say I pull it up on my phone. I pull it up on my tablet or phone, whatever. And that what I love about this, there is nothing to watch. I feel like his name, is it Mr. Jim? I don't know. But what he does is he will talk to the kids about animal. He will describe what the animal, where they live, maybe what they eat, uh, maybe what kind of what they look like, and then you have to guess, the kids, like what kind of animal it is. So that will be one day, but then he gives the answer on another day. But since it's already been recorded, you can listen to them in a row. So that might be, I feel like they each might be like 15 minutes. So 30 minutes of that, listening to while he's describing and talking about the animal, and then you're discussing with the kids, like, what kind of animal you think that is. But there are lots of different podcasts for kids. So Google that too. That's something fun I like and that I did with the kids I used to nanny. And we weren't, well, I would turn the phone up because they want to see the phone no matter what, or iPad. Even if there's, just a screensaver page of, whatever the show is. They want to sit and look at that. I turn it over because we're just listening. And also, what you can do is, since you're there with the kids all day, and this doesn't have to be just during Christmas season. This could be, the weekends. Have a time. I used to do this with the kids that I nanny because, of course, I'm there all day. I don't have a person to relieve me for lunch. And I'm there for several hours. I worked about, how long did I work? From 7:30 to 6? Or is it 5:30? 7:30 to 6. Anyway. So we would have quiet time. Now, quiet time, the kids, each person, including me, goes to your own separate space by yourself. So you need to be in a room by yourself. And quiet time is for an hour. So you have 30 minutes. Their parents allow them 30 minutes of electronics during quiet time. So the first 30 minutes, you can do whatever you want to do in your space. You can play with toys, color, read, look at books. If you can't read, maybe you can listen to stories or just, like I said, look at the book. But you can do whatever you want to do without electronics in that space. And then the next 30 minutes, you can have electronics. So that's something you can do with the kids. I think they need to get used to not having that TV, iPad, phone, someone entertaining them all the time. They need to learn to have to be creative. What can you do, by yourself? What else was I going? What's on this side? Also, I was going to say, you might, some of you might be sending your kids to camp because they have lots of different camps too. So that's something that might be in your budget. So, okay, I think that's about it. I think I have. Oh, okay. So I was gonna say too. I didn't talk about this. Just a list of things you can do in town. In case you don't know, I know they do it during the summertime. A lot of places will have, not a lot. Some places may have discounts especially during the summer or during breaks, maybe Christmas and, I don't know about spring, but definitely the summer and perhaps Christmas break. Like bowling, that's normally cheaper, or skating. Um, we didn't go skating a lot, but when I did used to take the kids, well, the few times we did go to a skating rink, it was like for all the kids during the day and all age ranges. And what I liked about it was all the kids could get on the floor. So there were some skating, there were some just walking. The parents could be out there walking with the kids with no skates on. The parents were out there with so they might have a kid out there with just shoes on. They might have a kid out there with skates on, and you can say you have a smaller child that's in a stroller, so they're walking, they're on the skating rink with, the strollers too, walking around with the kids. So that was fun, but that was only during, like family kid time. So you can check that out. But different things you can do um, during the day might be the zoo, bowling, roller skating, ice skating. Have you been, girl? Do you ice skate? I've never been ice skating in my life. Now, my grandkids, do they ice skate? They're good roller skating. Now, they started roller skating just like up and down the street. Now, they will go skating, each school. Their school sometimes has skate night or whatever, and they do that. But I think maybe it's the middle child. She's going to start taking ice skating lessons. She wants, well, I don't know if it's lessons or she's just going ice skating. Museums. There's kids' museums, in case, you may not know that. I did say play dates. And one thing I want to say is have a plan. Being a teacher, of course, we have a schedule, and we have some things we're going to do in class, because there's some days, like if it's too cold, you can't go outside, or if it's raining. So have a plan, but also have a backup plan. I always had a backup plan. So as a nanny, one thing that I did was I would always, I don't know how often I did this, maybe once a month, I'm not sure, but I always wrote down what was going on around town and the dates, whether free or not. And even though I was a nanny and the families paid for our outings, I still looked for things that were reasonably priced and free. I wasn't trying to just waste their money just because I had the money to do. But I always looked around. I always made sure I knew kind of different events and things that were going on around town. And so you can find those things out. Of course, you can Google it. You can ask different parents, teachers, nannies, babysitters. You can, a lot of parent magazines, and you can find those at different stores, or you can probably Google those too. Or you can just Google what's going on free and wherever you live for ages, whatever the age range you need. Remember, there's always plays, movies, puppet shows. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, once again, do a quick review. Ooh, y'all, this video, girl, is a little bit long, but I really hope this has jogged, given you a lot of ideas, jogging your brain, helping you to be creative, giving you some things that you haven't thought of before. Like I said, being a nanny, I used to just different things would just come to mind, and that's what we would do. And so, just think out the box. it may be something that the kids really enjoy doing. You never know. So, okay, I'm going to quickly go back over everything. Declutter. This is a good time to get rid of toys that they've been playing with. Arcades, Chuck E. Cheese, that's a great place to go. Try to think of different new things that you can do with the kids, that's something special that you and those kids or a child does. Um, make a fort. Make a fort. Make food. Make pizza, cookies, fudge, cake. Make it as something for you to eat. Make it as, and give it as a gift because it is Christmas. Go see Christmas lights or different Christmas activities. Of course, I know you're going to see Santa Claus because everybody want to see him. Um, you can have a pillow fight. You can have pajama day. You can have game day, movie day, or it can be movie game day. You can have, remember, Spirit Week. Come up with your own ideas with them. Oh, something else I wanted to talk to you about that I forgot. So I used to do this with my daughter when she was younger, and also with the last family I used to watch. Another thing you can do is get a container and get several small pieces of paper and write different things on there that you want to do. So you're writing things you want to do, and they're writing things that they want to do. And so however often, maybe once a week, you shake that up, you pull out one, and that's what you guys do. And they love that too because they feel like they get a say in, what they're doing. Another thing you can do that I didn't mention is you can just go out for ice cream cone, or you can buy ice cream, the cones and sprinkles. Just something. It doesn't have to be, don't think it has to be or needs to be something that costs a lot of money. It's just about being creative, having fun, and making memories. Carnival Day, I mentioned that. Spa Day, you remember? Do you remember what I said? What is the key to Spa Day? Don't just say you're going to set up all this stuff. The key is your voice. And no electronics. You set some nice spa music on. That's exactly what it's called. Spa music. Put it in YouTube. That one girl, you know her name, start with an A, or whoever, or the dude that starts with a G, and set the tone. But remember, be nice, have good energy, so it's a good experience for them and you, and talk in a nice, soft voice. Okay. There's camps for kids. There's coloring books, stickers at the Dollar Tree, different crafts at the Dollar Tree that you can do. Pinterest for small recipes and ideas for different things to make out of construction paper. Oh, painting. You can paint, of course. Painting, Play-Doh. What's the other? Slime. They love all that. And which you probably already knew. A kid friendly restaurant, like I was talking about, Fritz. That's fun. That has the train that goes around and delivers your food at your table. Don't forget about the library, movies. You can do electronic board games. Yeah, so I think that's about it. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Girl, if you stayed with me this long, thank you for listening, for spending time with me. And I hope this really helped. I hope I wasn't repeating myself too much. Yeah, have a good day. Enjoy your Christmas. And don't forget to subscribe and share. Bye.